Oh, no.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again.
Imagine the nicknames when your name is Ass Alone. Must be terrible. Leave my ass alone. You have any friends? No, my ass is alone.
I called him earlier and he picked up, but I didn't, respond. I just hung
You
up.
said, hey, motherfucker, call my partner.
Daddy.
Noah.
Yes, sir.
I like saying Noah that way. What's the 4th of July plan?
I'm going to hit the beach.
You yell shark. We've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
I'm having my son's motorcycle club. It is a recreational club at the house. We're barbecuing, and I'm making just a whole spread. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I told him, and I told him to tell his president I want all the Harleys, all of them, in my yard.
Honey D.
Ender, what are the big 4th of July plans?
Oh my goodness, barbecue.
That's it.
But I'm gonna run 10 miles before.
You worried about getting fat from the barbecue?
We are going to Mississippi.
Oh my goodness. Are there fireworks stands?
Yes, of course, dude. That'll be awesome.
Well, I intend to keep all my fingers this year.
I have a neighbor. He has a great little holiday party. So he goes to South Carolina, spends 10 grand.
Oh, no.
Comes home, and we have a better fireworks than the Macy's parade in New York City.
I had a pallet of fireworks delivered yesterday, and I'm out in the garage sorting them. And she says, we're going to the resort, right?
I love that. A fucking pallet. Not a fucking box, not a crate. I got a pallet of shit.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we don't want to see you on video again with any other kind of explosion within these.
Hello?
Antoine.
Hi, Mr. Danny.
What kind of dog is that?
Sorry, what?
What kind of small dog is that?
I don't have dog.
There's a dog barking.
On the road.
On the road. Be careful. He sounds dangerous. When are you going to rent us this place, man? We just went by there, and it's literally dead in the water. It's time for a funeral.
You know something, soldier? I've noticed you're always last.
I'm pacing myself, Sergeant.
Move it!
Let's get this place back to operating. Canada Day. That's the day we'll remember when we made a deal.
We like to rent it, but we don't want to rent it for somebody who's going to make a gain or a laundromat. It's not going to really do something about it. You have a big investment to do that in there.
You say you don't want to rent it to someone who's going to do a laundromat?
I said, how could you do that? You need a lot of investment to make this place run again.
Antoine, I have 36. I have 36 locations, brother. I'm looking to spend $500,000 and put new equipment in. I told you that the first time we talked. I sent you an email with photos of my before and after of my stores. I'm aware of what it costs. Maybe I wasn't crystal clear. We have to have an appropriate rate of rent. I don't know if you talk to some schmuck that doesn't know what they're doing, but that's not me.
That's the first time. Well, that's the first time I hear you have a lot of laundromats. I thought maybe you want to try a new one. That's why I didn't understand.
Hi, my name's Danny. I'm the king of laundry.
A what?
I know how it works. The only reason I'm calling you is because the gas, water, and electric exists. I sent you an email after we talked the first time in January, and again, it pretty much explains what I do and how I do it. Maybe it went into your junk. But we need a reasonable rate of rent because right now, you don't run it, do you? Your family runs it, sort of, but it needs money. Yeah, that's what we do. Let's put an LOI together and let's rent this place, man. I mean, it's been forever.
If you are in this business, we are like more open talk, because I thought really, honestly, Mr. Danny, I thought maybe you knew in the market and you want to do something new, but so many people call me for that thing and they want to buy back. And I said, no. If you don't invest in a laundromat, forget it. You're not going to make it.
This is going to be the equipment is junk, Antoine. It's worthless. The only reason I'm interested is because of the gas, water, and electric. We keep repeating ourselves. I can't spend, if you find somebody that wants to vanilla the space and you can collect $5,000 a month, great. we need to start at $2,200 a month because I'm not going to make any money for a year, maybe more. So I want to give you a letter of intent and email it to you. I don't want it to get ignored, but you always need to talk to your brother. What's the best rate you can do to start on I need a 15-year term as well.
But listen, I didn't really ignore your email, but I probably missed it.
Okay, I'll send it again.
Send me again. We'll discuss my brother. And now I know who you are.
Correct.
You're a laundromat.
Look, I call you. I call you every other week, and you don't answer, or I go to voicemail. My name is Danny D'Angelo. We have plenty of laundries. If I wasn't crystal clear now, for the fourth time we've said this, I'm ready to invest right away, but we need a reasonable rate. Tell your brother, let's get this thing done. I'll send you another email.
Okay.
Call me back.
All right, Danny. I will.
Happy Canada Day. Yeah, this is Danny for Candace.
Okay, Danny, she's on another line. Is there a message I can give her?
Can I wait? I'd be happy to wait.
I can put a message in front of her. Can I tell her what it's regarding?
Yeah, I'm trying to release some space here.
From Candace?
Maybe that's the wrong gal. Yeah, I'm looking at commercial space. I saw her name on a sign.
No, you didn't see Candace's name on the sign.
Okay. I guess I'm a liar.
A what?
Is this
because she doesn't...
No, I understand. Is this a real estate office?
It is a real estate office.
Okay. Who handles your commercial space? Can you check the address? Because this is the connection that I had. Thank you so much.
Okay. She does handle the tax work on that. So are you looking to lease space?
Yes.
Because we can send an email over to the owner and have him reach out to you.
The landlord? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Either way. Do you have and I don't want to pry or anything, but again, my partner goes out and physically scouts, so my apologies. The note here indicates it was on a sign, but that's probably not what we did. Is this owner a public entity? Is it a real estate company, or is it somebody you have to reach out to?
No, it's an individual we would reach out to.
Okay. Yeah, give him my number if you would. So here's a lesson. I don't mind talking to him. We could leave this broad. She wanted to put us on a message, right? And then I leave a message and I say, "Hi, Candace. I'm looking to rent some space." She'll never fucking call back. She'll just ignore us for 8-9 months until we finally get lucky, or I pry my way in and say, "Yeah, well, you didn't see her name on a sign." Oh,
Right.
okay. I mean, the way she said it was kind of like, "Bless your heart," and I'm not going to let that pass. I'm just like, "Oh, I guess I'm a liar." Well, that's not what I'm saying. Yeah, it is what you're saying. So the difficulty here is you're out there skip tracing and finding information on a county appraisal district. And guess what? They handle the taxes for the landlord. So the landlord is another entity, but you got close enough to where I can finagle my way into at least leaving a message. So you got us pretty close. Just get us a little closer.
Hello, this is Julie.
Julie, Danny D, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Never felt better, never had more. You got an email from my partner, Jordan. You called me. I've got the address in front of me. Here we are. Things are great.
Oh, yes. Okay. This is a better time to chat.
Let me give you that address. So here's the lowdown, Julie. I've been in the laundry business for 20-some years. I try to do it right from the get-go. I've got a few stores in 3 states, and my partner and I are building on that empire by doing this. We scout existing laundries. When we see stores that are underperforming, to put it very politely, we reach out to the landlord or their agent, and we look to sign a long-term lease. Not interested in buying the business. We're not in a hurry. I'm not looking to toss out the tenant either. But building a laundromat is a recipe for disaster. The EPA fees are too much to start with. Buying a laundromat, you see us giving money to someone for their failure because no one sells a successful business. So we do this. And Julie, you might say, "Oh, gee whiz, he's a great tenant. He pays on time. He's wonderful. We love him. He's got another 10 years remaining on the lease, and God bless America." But what I see here is a really, really poorly operated store with old, broken equipment and poor procedures. No offense to anyone.
Yep. No, understood.
At the end of the day, if I don't make this connection and talk to you about a potential lease, who knows? This guy might vacate, might walk away, might lose the business, and you never know that we are intrigued. And I'm not going to run it this way with the popcorn ceiling and the 35-year-old equipment and the fake smile you're on camera. We use real cameras and new equipment, and I spend about $500,000 initially, but I don't have to buy it and I don't have to build it, if that makes sense.
Okay. No, it does. And I have to ask you, Danny, how did you guys find this listing?
It's not a listing.
Okay. So you're not actually, it's not active. I was going to say, because Fred out of my office, he's the one who has represented that owner in the past.
Yeah.
And so
And we
I
called
didn't know if that
Fred
was something.
and left him. I'm not looking to
Okay.
throw anybody under the bus or start a fight at the Christmas party, but
No,
you know,
not at all.
I left him a message, and I believe I left you a message, and now here we are. But it's not a. I know the realty terms. My wife's a real estate agent formerly, and it's not a listing. It's just that we walk into these locations. Hard to find. It's hard to find a laundromat when they're not listed, when they have no Google page, they don't have a website. But those are the gems, right? And so we walked in, we did laundry, and we found you after the fact, if you will.
Got it. Okay, no, I just wanted, the only reason I brought that up was just because since I know, the owners through Fred, that's the only reason why I was wondering if maybe you saw it was like actively listed, but no, that's fine. Okay.
For all I know,
so,
what you have here is a laundromat, a bodega, there's a payphone, there's homeless people hanging out. It's not pretty. And at the end of the day, we want to change that and make a few bucks if the rent is commensurate and appropriate. I mean, I'm not Neiman Marcus. I still have to pay Walmart prices. But I'm,
of course.
They call this an introduction from nowhere. But if you're the right gal and we can talk, we'll talk terms. I don't know if the time is even right.
Are you there? Okay, I was going to say, I happen to know that they are actually looking to get out of the business. So let me do this. Let me get with Fred and see what he knows about it and see what I can get for you as far as, And then, Danny, what's your email address?
Yeah, let's do it backward if you don't mind. It'll keep my mind straight if I can send you one. What's yours? And let me say this, if this was a $5 million home and instead of Julie, it was, again, Fred's listing, we'd all be fighting over split listings. There's not a lot of money in commercial real estate, especially for a lease like this. I know that. I get it. And if it's Fred we need to talk to, et cetera. But the point is this, I'm just looking for a long-term lease at a reasonable rate if it's time.
Okay.
And you said something telling. They're looking to get out. Of course they are. They're not making money in here.
And I actually happened to have placed the tattoo shop in there just a couple years ago. So so I do have a relationship with the owners. I was just doing it out of courtesy to my colleague. So I didn't want to step on his toes if that was something.
Not at all. We're able to find out who handles the property most of the time without too much digging, and then find Fred and Julie's name and then just call. I prefer to have a conversation. Imagine trying to email this, hey, I want you to throw your tenant out on their ear. No, that's not what I want. How do you know they want to get out? Are they looking to sell it or have they listed it? Do you know?
Because we have a personal relationship. So the people, we know the owners in my office, all of us know, and it just happened to come up in conversation
when you
a couple
say
of weeks
owner,
ago.
You mean the landlord, not the operator
Of the building.
laundry.
Correct.
Is the landlord also the operator of the business or no?
I don't believe so.
Okay, yeah, separate entity.
And so,
either way,
they're separate.
And if they want to sell the business, God bless them. What if they do sell the business? Let's say it's $300,000. You're stuck with a tenant who owes money to a previous tenant because they're never going to give them $300K in cash, and who can't make money. I see this happen I've got 36 locations. So I see this happen over and over where the stores get sold. And what you want is a good tenant. The method to that good tenant is not a sale. Just saying. That's in my experience. I own commercial space as well. And I want a national chain. I don't want Bob's Burgers, but sometimes one is better than the other. Julie, I'm glad we understand each other. I'll fire you off an email. I'll CC my partner, Jordan. God bless. Let me know
Okay.
what finds out. Happy 4th of July.
I will.
Alvin Danny D'Angelo, the laundry guy. How you been, buddy?
Good. How are you? Oh yeah, I forgot. Hadn't heard from you in a while.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
Well, you know, nothing's changed. We are interested in talking terms and giving you a rent check if the timing is right.
Well, actually, we just purchased a whole bunch of equipment, about $100,000 worth of equipment. We're going to go ahead and redo it. We didn't hear from anybody, so it seemed like I can't remember exactly when our last correspondence was, but we haven't made final arrangements on that purchase. But let me talk to my family and see if we're still interested in doing that.
Well, let me say this. Let me ask you something. You know, I've got 36 locations, so the biggest issue with with dealing with these folks is they're nice. They show up. They want to buy you a slice of pizza or a steak sandwich, and you know the mistake that we make, the mistake I made with my first store, is I go with the first nice guy that shows up, and we haven't lived in this commercial equipment universe ever in our lives. And although they're nice folks, they're trying to make their year with one sale. And, you know, frankly,
I understand that.
Yeah, that 100. Did you talk to more than one distributor? Did you bring Hips and Speed Queen and Wassermat in? Okay, good.
Right.
You've got to. You got to pit them. You got to pit them against each other.
We actually put that laundromat in. My wife's parents put it in 1960.
Okay.
It's when they built that laundromat.
So you know how the game is
we've
played.
grown up through. Oh yeah, we've redone. We've done total equipment change outs. This is will be our third or fourth.
Okay.
That we've actually been responsible for. We took it over in '84, and we.
Well, you know, hell, you've got my cell phone number. Save it.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I will.
You know, at the end of the day, nothing's changed for me. I think since we talked, I probably did. I know I did one store, and I'm never too busy to pick up and talk. So yeah, circle the family up at a 4th of July and find out what you want to do and let me know. I mean, if a rent check makes more sense than working at the store any longer, then let's talk about it. Let me know.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate it.
Do you have an idea of what? You would be.
I want to spend as little as possible. I don't want to give you any more than,
I know
you
that.
can
We
afford
want
to
to give
collect.
you.
Yeah, that's the God's honest truth.
Okay.
I don't know, sir, if you own the building outright. I'm not asking. I don't know if you've got.
We do.
Okay.
We do.
But then that
and part
changes.
of it's a donut shop, you know. Yeah. So
figure it out. Let me know if
anyway.
you're not crazy and I'm not crazy. And there's the big tipping point is the difference between spending the money on the retool, waiting for all that to come to fruition, and just handing it off to me. I'm not looking to buy it. I'm looking to lease it. Let me know.
Got it.
Good.
Okay. Talk
Cheers.
to you later. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
It's my understanding you own the plaza and you operate the laundry. Is that right?
Well, sort of.
Well, you own the laundry. I'm not saying that you work there necessarily.
Yes. Own the laundromat, yes. The building is family members. There's like 14 of us.
Oh, wow.
Own the building.
Awesome. Good for you. Well, let me explain. I'm in the laundry business as well, Gary. I've got a few stores, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. My interest is in signing a long-term lease with willing landlords, reinventing the store with new equipment, proper advertising, et cetera. I make a go of it. I've got enough stores that I can do well. And we've scouted your store. We went in, we did some laundry. You know, I'm not looking to offend anybody. And if at the end of the day you want to retool the place and spend $500,000 the way we do, God bless. If it's, you'd have to discuss with family members, obviously, whether or not it makes sense for all of you. But I'd like to give you a rent check let you step away from the business and keep the property, obviously. I just want to become a tenant. I don't want to buy the business or buy the building. And, when I'm dealing with operators who also have an interest in the building, I want to be very careful. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings here, but my interest is solely in becoming a tenant, if that makes sense. And maybe it's today, tomorrow, next year, or next month.
Well, I don't think we're interested in doing anything right at the moment.
Okay.
10 years down the road, maybe.
Okay.
But,
when I've looked at the store, is it truly open 24/7, or is that an older sign?
yes, it is 24/7.
Okay.
The Laundromat itself. Yeah.
And
Service area is open from 7 to 6:30, Monday through Friday.
you have family members working that.
Well, my partner and I do. We're the family members. The family members that own the building are not involved.
Right, I understand. So, again, I'm not trying to be rude or facetious here. If you and your family member are spending literally every weekday there, and you're not paying yourself, I don't know, $10,000 a month, and maybe it would make sense to look at the figures versus you could be doing something else, obviously, and collecting rent, whatever that rent is, if it makes sense. I've talked to a lot of folks who are operating the business, who are doing wash, dry, fold. I just want you to take a long, hard look at it and see if it really does make sense. Sometimes we just keep banging our head against the wall and doing the same thing. And 10 years from now, I mean, if you don't retool that store, that equipment is not going to last another decade. You have the distributors come in and... Go ahead.
It's not going to last another couple of months.
Right. Do you have a plan to retool it?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Well, that's a whole different thing. You spend the money and, God bless you, Gary, try to figure out how to extricate yourself from that laundry, right? I could have never built 36 of these locations if I worked in even one of them. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And there are methods to do it. It's nothing big, nothing extravagant. My name is not all over the place, because if I take over a store through a long-term lease, I'll leave the name of the store. It becomes what the folks in the area know. I'm not so excited about my name to say it has to be Danny's Laundromat. It doesn't make sense. So if the retool is something you're doing, then God bless, it makes perfect sense. If not, if there's no retool coming, save my number. Call me up and we'll talk terms. Can I send you an email as well? I could send you some pictures of my stores.
Sure, you can, but the retool is happening in 3 weeks.
Oh, good. All right. You've already done the deal. Good.
And now our proudest ships has been destroyed by an enemy we considered inferior. We're on the ropes, gentlemen.
We've been looking at it for over a year now, and finally got the contract signed this spring, and it's happening.
Good for
very
you.
Shortly.
Did you pit the distributors against each other so you get a good price?
That's what I call a close encounter.
No, we just went with equipment that we felt would be the best for us, and we've got a guy we've been working with for quite a few years.
Nice.
And, the fact that he treats us well.
That means a lot. Really glad to make your acquaintance. I'll fire you off an email. Let us know if anything does change. Thanks, bud.
All right.
Poor bastard. What a poor bastard.
Danny, he's got to be north of 70.
Jeez. Maybe in 10 years. We'll
Yeah.
do something.
That place totally fits the model that we're talking about, because everything you already seen in the pictures. But yeah, that's true. He's in it. He's operating. His wife also, possibly his daughter. And, he should be gone. He should be retired.
Can you imagine if this guy would have spent $300 on some idiot on the internet's course? He would know at the very least. The guy they bought equipment from has been a good distributor for them, so they just went with his equipment. They're raping them. That's all.
Little does he know. Little does he know.
Sad. I'm looking at not a listing, but a commercial space where your tenant is trying to sell the business. So it's a specific address. If you could check that for me.
I mean, they haven't informed us that they've been trying to, because that's between the tenant and the buyer, as far as if they want to sell their business. We don't get involved in that part. Just as they
Nor
just let us
should
know,
you.
Hey, look, we're going to
Do not tell me it can't be done.
transfer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're going to
What
transfer
is your
the
name?
lease to this. My name is Jenny.
Jenny.
Where you going, General? Berlin! I'm gonna personally shoot that paper-hanging son of a bitch!
So, Jenny, imagine my position giving someone hundreds of thousands of dollars for a business in a rented space and not knowing whether or not a long-term lease is going to be available. What if you're leveling the building? Well, I'm just trying to put you in my position. I own and operate 36 coin laundromats, and I would never move forward with a sale until I knew whether or not there might be a lease available. So you've got a good tenant, they're in good standing, all of that, etc.
Of course. Yeah, I mean,
It's
whenever
not
pretty much the way
necessarily,
that
of
it works
course.
for
I
the
mean, the
landlords
place
is
is
that
falling apart.
Ah! That's mine! That's mine! Get up! Get up!
Okay, sorry. Let me know whenever you
Are
want
you
me
the
to
real estate
let you know
agent that
about-
handles this particular spot?
No, we are the leasing managing office. We have the realtor is part of the team here, is one of the landlords. They are the owners.
Oh,
And we
good.
just manage the tenants, the plazas for them. Pretty much the way that would work is just the tenants, if they do want to transfer their lease to a buyer, a seller, whatever it is that they want to take over, they would obviously have to finish out the current lease that they're on. And then once they do, then a new
Okay,
lease
all
would
right,
be
Jenny,
imposed
thank
to
you.
them.
That means a lot. Did you hear what she said?
I did.
Well, the way that would work is they would have to finish out their remainder of their lease, and then they would start a new lease. What the f*** are you talking about?
I could have been at a barbecue!
Has no idea how to run a business. No idea. Well, the way that would have to work is they would have to notify us. We don't have anything. I'm looking at my whole system. Oh, they want to sell it? Well, they would have to notify us that it's for sale. No, they don't. They don't have to notify you of anything. Hey, Pete, my name's Danny. I am interested in leasing some space. I'm interested in the laundromat space. That's my business. I do coin laundries. And I understand you have a tenant there. They're operating the business. To explain very briefly, I'm always looking for infrastructure, gas, water, electric, everything behind the scenes. I don't want to buy someone's laundry. I don't want to build laundries from scratch. Instead, we go out, my partner and I, we scout them. When we see underperforming stores, we reach out to the landlord or their rep, seeing if and when a lease might be available. Maybe it's 6 months, 6 days, 6 years. If you don't know we're out here looking, we'll never get together. And we sign long-term leases and spend money on equipment, but we don't need to buy the business rights or, in this case, build out the store from scratch, which is a disaster. The EPA fees alone will crush you. And this isn't a horrible store. It's far from the worst I've seen, but I never know until we reach out to Pete and see what's what, if you will, if any of that makes any sense.
What fees did you say are terrible? The EPA fees?
Environmental impact fees. So, if you want to put soap in the ground, if it's a residence, they're going to charge you X. If you're going to do a laundromat, it's X times 50. And people aren't building new stores for that reason. At least I wouldn't.
Welcome to Earth.
So your interest is replacing that laundry when the lease comes up.
Exactly right. Not replacing it, but retooling it, putting equipment. And I would be operating it. My partner and I'm not a flipper or a seller. I'm not trying to stick you with someone who doesn't know what they are doing. I prefer to operate my stores and operate them properly, if that makes sense. Is this your building?
No, I'm the broker.
Perfect. Okay.
And the the tenancy there has been very stable for some time. I've never really paid much attention to the laundromat because there wasn't any need.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. When I walked in, I just see old equipment and some poor procedures that we would change. But, again, call this an introduction, if you will. I don't think this place is falling apart. About 25% of the equipment is broken, all told. And, you know, I just don't operate my stores that way at the end of the day. Let me do this. I'll send you an email, and when something changes, if it's 10 years or 10 days, reach out and we'll try to beat you up on the rent. I'll CC my partner. Don't be alarmed. He's an attorney. So, you know, only in this case, we're dealing with laundries. If anything changes there, if you've got an issue, let me know. I'm not looking for your rent rolls. I'm not trying to, you know, dig into your information. But if you email me back and say, hey, we can talk right now, I would figure they're month to month. Or you say we can talk in 2030, I know exactly what that means. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Have a great 4th of July.
I'm pretty sure this hot water heater's got a few more good years left in it.